Good afternoon, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you. Well, speaking of gladiators, today I'm playing one of my games. And of course, my games are the Swords and Sandals games. And this is one of my favorites. It's Swords and Sandals II Redux, Emperor's Reign. This will be a game familiar to many people because it came out last year and has sold plenty of copies, and it is basically a remake of my most famous game, Swords and Sandals 2. And I'd like to play through it today and give you a bit of trivia and a few laughs along the way, and just do a bit of a deep dive into it. So without further ado, let's get stuck in, shall we? A game by Oliver Joyce. Who could that be? Swords and Sandals Gladiator. Yep, that's me that did the original music, and that's me singing over the top of it. Once again, the music from Swords and Sandals I originally composed on a Casio keyboard many years ago, and it's been remade a couple of times by various composers, most recently the legendary Adrian Galassi, my dear friend from Brazil and a wonderful composer who's done a lot of music for the Swords and Sandals games over the years. And I've said this before, but the series wouldn't be the same without him. Alright, here we are, Emperor's Reign, made in 2017. Pretty much most of the game was recoded from scratch. The original was made in, I believe, 2006 as a flash game, and when the mobile revolution came out, I did a remake of it that wasn't really up to scratch because mobile phones weren't that powerful back then, and I really had to compromise on many things: the animations, the resolution of the backgrounds, and many of the features that were in the original Sword and Sandals just had to be cut. And so when eGames bought the rights to Swords and Sandals a couple of years back, one of the first things we decided to do was to remake Swords and Sandals and bring it out across, desktop and mobile and as many platforms as we could. And the result was, of course, this one. So without further ado, let's get into it. New Gladiator. Let us go with the normal difficulty, standard Swords and Sandals. This is all new compared to the original. There was never a difficulty mode. There's even an Iron Man mode, which is kind of cool. You only get one life, then it's all over.
Gladiator, the crowd is calling your name.
That narration is done by a great guy called Roscoe Lewis, and he is a narrator from the United Kingdom, and he's got a wonderful, gravelly voice that really suits this kind of game. I was quite inspired when I played Darkest Dungeons a few years ago by the excellent narration in that, and it's something that I've wanted for my games ever since. So he appears in this game, Sword and Sandals 5, and also the upcoming Sword and Sandals Pirates with that narration audio. We shall be called Ironheart, and he will be a... what do you reckon? So you can choose a hometown now, and you weren't able to do that in the original Sword and Sandals. Once again, I've been trying to bring in the larger realm to Sword and Sandals. So you can see this map here, which is actually the map from Sword and Sandals Crusader. And the various peoples within, you have the Craggites, the Clogues, the Hellions, Edengarth, where Hikaelsus is from. But we're going to go with probably a Guntarian today, because I'd like to be a bit of a barbarian from Warmhaven. The Guntarians, of course, were troublemakers back in Sword and Sandals Crusader, as led by Bors the Mighty. Let's give him a cool beard. Now this is an enhanced version of the sprites that were featured back in Swords and Sandals 2. I added a couple of new hairstyles, cleaned them up a bit. But if you're familiar with it back then, it's much of the same today. Should we give him something cool? Scar on his head, yeah, why not? Many of the stats remain the same. strength, attack. But one thing about Swords and Sandals 2 is I really nerfed charisma, because there was a lot of yelling going on, and I don't know, it just didn't really work in this new version.
Gladiator, to Swords and Sandals.
You are a pirate. After a great storm, your ship is wrecked off a mysterious island. An arena looms above, and you follow a path towards it. On a rocky cliff halfway up, you found yourself set upon by ruffians. You were hit on the head. All goes dark. Whoa. You pirate scum! You want your freedom? Emperor Antares has kindly granted you a chance to win it. All you have to win is a simple fight to the death. What are you waiting for? So, of course, that's a slave driver, as reimagined by an artist I met on Fiverr called Jimmy Nils, and he did some great background art for Swords and Sandals 2. I've lost touch with him these days, but I want to thank him for the art he did for this game if he's still around. So straight into battle again. Once again, it's the fearful prisoner. Poor guy. What? Someone tell me what's going on. I am having that breakfast. Poor guy. He's only 4'9", a poor soul of questionable hygiene. Listen, pal, I'm just about as the dark as you are about this.
We who are about to die salute you.
So that's where I got the famous catchphrase from. Actually, no, originally it's from Gladiator, the movie, and before that, it's actually from the Roman arenas. Supposedly, the gladiators would say that to the emperor. So we've got all the standard options: move backwards, forwards, taunt, charge. Now, each thing actually takes an amount of essence to do, or energy, basically. You can't lose this battle. This is a tutorial.
Won the death match.
Emperor Antares grants you some money along your way. And we level up. So one of the things that made Swords and Sandals so popular, apart from the gladiator, 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 gladiator. All right, carried away. Yeah, one of the things that made this series so popular originally was the short combat loop. You basically fought, you bought weapons, and then you fought again. You fought, you went back to town, you could upgrade your army, upgrade your weapons, but within 30 seconds or a minute, you're back into the fight. And that's something that I've tried to keep throughout the series, you know, to greater or lesser success. I added trophy pieces, the same quotes in the original one. Trophy pieces that get bigger and bigger. This is a little kind of reward, almost like a wrestling match. When you level up, you unlock things like arenas, new skills, new abilities, that kind of thing. The provincial arena, a rundown, rickety wooden arena on the outskirts of town. The fans here are obnoxious and easily bored. Win here, and you might find yourself in the big leads soon enough. Let's keep going with attack, strength. Why not? And one thing that's new to Swords and Sandals 2 Redux is the skill tree, which didn't feature in the original, and it's something that was in Swords and Sandals 5, the original, and the Redux, but something I wanted to bring in. Quite a lot of skills you can choose from. I believe there's about 30 different skills. One skill I like is the Barbarian Storm.
Congratulations, you grow more powerful.
We're going with the melee build for this. And here we have all the arena champions. Now, if that looks familiar, I took the idea from Swords and Sandals 3 of all the heroes standing on the pillars outside town. We start off with John the Butcher, work our way up, Evil Ninja after that, and of course Son of Stylonius. There are some new arena champions in this game. I did replace some of the old ones for reasons of lore and story, basically, because I'm trying to thread together the different games and make them kind of be kind of coherent narratively. So I really want to try and make the world of Swords and Sandals a bit more of a living, breathing place, if you know what I mean. Let's go and try and upgrade our weapon.
Weaponsmith.
I'm a big fan of axes in this game because axes do extra critical hit damage. Can't afford that, but a tomahawk we can have.
Item purchased.
We'll grab that. And yeah, so you now have all these different weapons and things you can use, potions. It's a bit more advanced than the original Swords and Sandals 2. Not everyone liked that. Some people love the true simplicity of Swords and Sandals 2, but I think the Redux is kind of cool in the extra levels of depth. You've also got billboards, which I actually kind of took from things like The Running Man and, you know, movies that sort of make it into a bit more commercial adventure. But believe it or not, in the ancient Roman days of gladiating, gladiators actually could endorse themselves and sign deals with, you know, olive oil companies or sandal companies or whatever. And Ridley Scott was going to put this into the movie Gladiator, but he left it out because he thought it wasn't plausible enough. He thought no one would believe that. But, you know, gladiators were celebrities back then.
The Golden Shield Armory.
Cool, Maximus armor. Because I'm playing the Maximus edition, you get a set of Maximus armor if you wish. Let's grab it, why not? Every bit helps. We could, of course, buy other bits of armor and weapons. All the classic ones there, the noob, the cutpurse, the brigand, and so on. Not much of that changed, but I did update the art for a lot of the armor sets from the original, just to clean them up, because my drawing style improved a bit. Into the arena. So you start off just being able to do duels for a while until you level up enough to get into a tournament. Ironheart fighting scheming Caitlin. I flock for your general direction. Nice helmet, jerk. So we are tougher than her, we are more agile, and we have more stamina. So I believe we're going to be able to beat her. Also new to this is the power score, which tells you, you know, generally, are you, you know, favored over your opponent.
For the glory of Emperor Antares.
All right. Lead with a charge. Whoa, she hits back kind of hard. Nice opening salvo. Rah! Charge is still do most of the same things to do as Swords and Sandals 2 original, but they are not quite as devastating. You can't really rip the eardrums out without putting a lot of points into charisma. Because I found it was a little boring to spam the charisma button. Let's try out one of those special abilities. Oh, I missed. Shame. Oh. Also, new to the Redux is achievements. So plenty of things you can achieve, like, you know, lasting 50 rounds in a battle or doing 1,000 points of damage in a hit, that kind of thing. Just little incentives to keep you playing for longer. Also new is Battle Rage. So when a gladiator gets Battle Rage, like Caitlin has here, their attacks do double damage unless, actually no, they take a 100% hit chance. So they always hit unless you can attack them and do damage yourself. So I'm going to try a quick attack on them to null that battle range. I've missed, damn it. So she, whoa, she's hitting them hard. I underestimated her, that's for sure. Whoa. And she's used a magic ability to get away from me. Oh! Hey, not a great start for Ironheart. We lost our first duel. You still get a bit of gold.
Would you like to go on an adventure?
Adventures. Again, from the original, but expanded upon here. I added a ton of different things. There's about 100 different little mini adventures that basically enhance your stats or give you positive and negative things. So in this one, you introduce the village idiot to their one true love. How wonderful. Occasionally those adventures can go wrong. Maybe the village idiot doesn't love their true love and you lose some luck or skill or whatever. But there are a lot of them. Tavern is also new.
Night falls and the world.
So when you get tired, you have to rest somewhere, whether it's the streets or the tavern. If you rest in the streets, you're in danger of being robbed. You're going to rest in the tavern. You dream of whiskey. Yeah, Whiskey Barrel Studios. The story behind Whiskey Barrel Studios, some people asking about the name of that. And one day when Tony Lowe, the longtime artist of Swords and Sandals, and I were thinking about teaming up to make Euro Night all those years ago, we were standing at his house drinking whiskey on an old oak barrel in his lounge room. And a bottle of whiskey was there. We had 2 shot glasses. And I looked down at the oak barrel and thought, What about Whiskey Barrel Studios for a name? Anyway, whatever. He's one of those kind of guys. He wasn't that fussed. But the name just stuck in my head. And ever since then, it's been called Whiskey Barrel Studios. A lot of people kind of get the name confused with, is it one E, is it EY, or is it just Y? But, you know, I like the name, and it, you know, it's kind of evocative. Anyway, we have breakfast of peas porridge cold, and back to town. Let's hope we can win a battle, right? This hasn't been too audacious a start for me. Many random trivia quotes and things. These have been around since the very early Sword and Sandals games. With each new Sword and Sandals, I will add to those, just for fun. Theodorus, the Greek. Well, he's not Greek because he's in the world of Brandel, but you know, the equivalent. Our poor barbarian, he's had a bit of a rough trot. Hasn't really started off that strongly. I really want to get a win out of my belt. New backgrounds here in the background. You can see all the gladiators I've drawn, many different armor sets and so on. Take this!
You have won the deathmatch.
Yay! We won our first battle. With the duels, you don't have the, you know, ripping off of arms or beheadings or hearts being, you know, torn out. They're saved for the death matches. So at first the game seems almost kind of peaceful. Ah, the billboards, of course, a subtle advertisement from some of my own games, as we see there, Swords and Sandals Medieval. Available now! Buy it on Steam! Or iOS or Android. Anyway, I'm plugging my own stuff. Magic Shop.
The Magic Shop.
Magic Shop, of course, you can enhance your weapons. We're going to enhance our
Item
axe.
enchanted.
And we can buy some potions if we want to take in. The enchanting wasn't quite as complicated as back in Swords and Sandals 2 because I just ran out of time, unfortunately. In the original Swords and Sandals 2 you could add fire damage or poison damage to your weapon, but in the end I had to get the game launched because I was actually building it at the same time as I was building Swords and Sandals 5. So you notice they have the same inventory systems and the same combat engine and so on. I was building them both in tandem, and it was a really challenging effort because I had started a full-time job, was doing this at night and on weekends, and also we were, you know, living at my mum's house, my girlfriend and I, because I'd sold my apartment and we were trying to find a house to buy. Every weekend we go house hunting, trying to maintain some kind of life and still build the games. So they actually took quite a while. It took me about 18 months to build Swords and Sandals II Redux and Swords and Sandals 5 Redux and maintain a job and all the rest. So indie game development can be rewarding, but it's really time consuming. Not to put you off, of course, because it's a fun pastime, you know, and you can make a ton of money. Not to say I have. I've made some money. Enough to work on this part-time. And hopefully when the next Swords and Sandals game comes out, I can transition that into maybe doing Whiskey Barrel Studios full-time. And then would really see Swords and Sandals coming along in leaps and bounds. I really like to do multiplayer and an online battle royale style game and a Ultima style RPG. There's so many things I want to do with the franchise with enough time and resources. Proteus. He's a good fighter, this guy. He's come at us with a dagger.
You have won.
Well, I praised him, but he lost. Time for a level up. I added some ranks, and these Latin names, which I took from, of course, Wikipedia, I believe. They're based in fact, though. There are tribunes and praetorians and all those kind of ranks. How authentic these rankings are, who can say? Well, sorry. Alright, what should we level up? Agility, bit of vitality. We could get some magic if we wanted. What about a magic missile? We haven't really put much into our magic, but I get one just for fun. Sometimes it can be good to have a ranged ability as well. Because we have Maximus armor, we don't really need to upgrade our armor for quite a little while because, as you can see, the Maximus stuff is better than a lot of this. And some people have actually asked me, can you release a version of the game where you don't have to buy a Maximus armor. Well, you don't start with Maximus armor because it's a bit too easy. And that's fair enough. That's why I've allowed people to just take the gold instead of it. Another adventure? Sure. An excellent adventure. You help pack up the tent for a group of traveling entertainers. Great, we gain some magic, which will help with our magic missile. We, of course, may run out of luck soon, and we'll keep doing adventures until we do. Back to the arena.
Gladiator, the next tournament is available.
Now, we're into the tournament. If I die in this tournament, it's curtains for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a potion to try and keep me alive. We want to get a large healing potion. Maybe 2.
Item purchased.
Now these, I believe, will just... Yeah, cool, we got them in inventory. You can also check out your vital statistics here, your health, your resistances. There are a lot of subtle differences and UI improvements that I brought to the table for this one that, you know, as 10 years have passed since Swords and Sandals II Original came out, a lot has changed in the world of computer games and a lot of modern conveniences and things that people expect. So I wanted to put them in there. Things like just keeping track of how you're playing, how many fights you've had, the largest amount of damage you've dealt, that kind of thing that people are just interested in. Into the tournament. Woolridge's Meat Emporium Cup. John the Butcher Woolridge is the pillar of the community. Every year he hosts a tournament for low-level gladiators to gain valuable experience at getting their tails whooped. The winner even gets to take on Woolridge himself for a shot at big prize money. Defeat 2 more gladiators to earn the right to challenge Arena Champion 1. Now, as I've told several times in the Swords and Sandals videos, spare no one! I've squished more interesting bugs than you. Okay. Gladiators in arena tournament fights are more well armed and have better weapons often. As I've spoken of in previous videos, John the Butcher was actually my first boss back on as a teenager. I only worked for him for 1 day, and I was just basically cleaning up the butchery, you know, moving the meat block around, getting bits of gristle out of the machines, and cleaning up the cold storage room. It was a horrible job. I know I was about 13 or something like that, but I hated it. At the end of the day, John the Butcher said to me I wasn't cut out for that kind of stuff and gave me $5 and sent me on my merry way. But I was incensed. How dare he fire me? This is an outrage. In the end, he was right to do so, but I took my revenge out on him by many years later putting him in as the first arena champion. And many gladiators this day have slain him. Or his avatar. I have no idea what he's up to these days. He's probably very, very old if he's still alive. That's a fun little trivia story. Oh, they have battle rage. Let's try and cool it with a magic missile. Ooh. Oh, they resisted. But they were too tired. Oh, big hit from Ironheart. How cool is the music? This is an Adrian Glassy track. He just makes kick-ass music. Just really gets your heart pumping. And if you're an indie game developer looking for someone to make music for your games, you could do a lot worse than Adrian Glassy.
You have won the death match.
Alright, we've won some gold. That's the first of our 3. There's Antares, of course. He is the ultimate boss of this game, but you have to get through many, many tournaments to defeat him. Next up, we're fighting the gladiator, Hannah the Subjugator. I'm skilled in the art of tea and toast. Nobody here cares about your thoughts on tea and toast, you fool. She's actually much more evenly matched to us. She's an Elder Hathian priest. Elder Hathian is actually Antares' race. He is from the mysterious lands of Elder
Live from the amphitheater.
Let's launch a magic missile as our opening salvo. Did a bit of damage. They launched a fireball back at us. That failed. They got a hammer, which is actually quite strong. Does a lot of damage. Oh. What do we got there? Damn it. Oh no, that hit. So So I could if I wanted to use the healing potions, but I'm saving them for John the Butcher. When gladiators go to sleep, you have a 99% chance of hitting them. That's something that I added to this game because I thought the gladiators rested way too much in the old games. You can still do things like grapple and push each other into pits and so on, but I haven't actually gotten as far as the pits. There is, of course, a big arena billboard here, and this one, the billboard is advertising the tavern. Don't get mugged! Get a rat-free room at the tavern! No, thank you. Well, I already have done that, but not today. Okay, 99% chance of a big hit on Hannah. This probably will end her. Oh yeah! Big hit. Slice him in half. And we've leveled up. Gladiator Pillars. Pillars? Pillars. So, earn some hit points in essence. And let's pump some points in strength and vitality. I'm just ignoring these four because I believe they are a different kind of build. If you want a defensive magician type build, that's the one to go for. Mighty Smash is a cool one. Let's go with that. There's a great skill you can get that allows you to, I think it's Whirlwind. Oh, here we go. John the Butcher. The song Every Time You Go Away, You Take a Piece of Meat With You was a huge hit for John the Butcher several decades ago. Sorry if that ear-splitting track rocked your ears, but it just gets you psyched up for battle, that's for sure. The Arena Champions were always the highlight of Swords and Sandals 2, and something that when I bring the next Swords and Sandals game out, or Swords and Sandals 6, which is still a few years away, I want to have a ton more of them, and I want to bring back these classic ones as well as extra content, because they are the things that people remember and talk about.
Behold, the next Arena Champion!
John the Butcher. Now we're evenly matched. Got the same power score. He's stronger than me, but I have more attack, and yeah, we're very evenly matched. Tomorrow morning's special meal. Prime gladiator cut ribs. John, when I'm done with you, you'll be eating through a straw. I guess that's my Clint Eastwood voice. Who knows? I don't know why I've gone with that for him. All right, let's do this.
We
Only one
are
winner.
about to die. Salute you.
All right. Tough boss music going on. He hits very high. He just did 90 points of damage to our armor. Halving it, basically. I'm going to rest. Ooh. And then I wanted to draw him close to me. I'm going to actually then try my Mighty Smash. Damn it, he blocked it. Yeah, we also blocked his attack. Oh, good hit. He's lost his hat of hand with the pig ears. That's on cooldown. They're on cooldown. We'll try a charge because he just had a rest, so we should be able to hit him. Still, okay, he's lost his armor. You can still see the Gladiator's armor on there, but it's broken. Every now and again, Gladiator's armor will fall off just as a visual effect, but it doesn't always relate to the fact that the armor is broken. This is a tense battle. But he's resting. Power hit! Okay. He's walking towards us. Bam! Little animation bug there. Sometimes I just couldn't solve the animation bugs. Ooh, big hit from John. Okay, we're gonna keep resting. Oh, big hit. Alright, what do you reckon? Mighty Smash. One more hit should do it. Oh, two more hits. Quick hit. Oh, he's got Battle Rage. I need a healing potion. How did he survive that? Finish him!
Behold, our new tournament champion!
That was a hell of a battle. That was a tough one. Music from, of course, Swords and Sandals 3, done by my old mate Gabriel Castro and his band. What were they called? Not Inconceivable. It was something like that. And Daniel Kinder on the drums. Guys I used to work with at Third Sense. Great guys. I haven't seen them in a long time.
won the tournament. You just won the tournament. You just won the tournament. You just won the tournament.
All right, settle down. You're not PewDiePie. Yeah, I recorded that song for this game. It's a new and exclusive track. Wonderful. So you can choose their hat of ham if you want, or their tomahawk, or their chest of gold. I think we'll take their helmet. Antares approaches. He merely says nothing, staring at you intently. One thing that was new to the Redux versions, of course, was a proper story. And there were 20 chapters, and the tale it tells is of the Emperor and his insidious plot to create an army of undead gladiators from the arena, and he would store them in a Colosseum, in catacombs underneath the Colosseum. And you would discover this along the way through the chapters of the game. It's quite a cool story, really, if I do say so myself. You stand in the middle of the arena in shock. You've defeated your first arena champion, John the Butcher, but after your encounter with Emperor Antares, you can barely think. A strange mixture of elation, bloodlust, and terror washes over you. You have passed your first test, but you realize there were many more to follow. It's the end of the day, and the end of our video for now. That was Swords and Sandals II Redux. It's not perfect. There are some things that I believe I did better in Swords and Sandals 2. The AI was probably a little bit smarter in Swords and Sandals 2 original, maybe. Some animation bugs and a couple of balancing issues, and that comes with the increased complexity of having skill trees and so on. But I believe it's a worthy entrant into the canon, and for people that love the original, it's always going to be there. And for people that love the new one, I'm glad you have tried it out, and thanks for playing. This game has sold quite well, and it's given me confidence and hope that I can succeed as an indie game developer. Something that, I wasn't sure of for quite some time, and it's allowed me to continue making these games. You can pick up Swords and Sandals II Redux on Steam and on Android and iOS. I'm going to put some links to the game in the comments below. If you haven't played it already, check it out. It's a lot of fun, and it certainly kicks off the new Redux series with a lot of spirit and heart, I hope, because I poured my own heart into it. What's your favourite Swords and Sandals? Was it one of the classic ones? Are you enjoying the new ones? Are you looking forward to Swords and Sandals Pirates, which is coming out later this year? Let me know in the comments. Thanks always to our new subscribers, new and old, and loyal fans, and everyone who has left a comment and a like. I do read them all and try to get back to as many of them as I can. Tonight I'm going to be making my next video on Ollie Plays, No Rest for the Wicked. It's going to be on, of course, Ultima 7, continuing the Ultima series. Only a few more to go, for those who are sick of it. I'm getting a little tired of it myself, but I'm committed, and that's one thing you have to be as an indie game developer. Committed. Alright, we salute you, of course, and until next time, bye for now.